And now, live from the Squared Circle Studios in Wausau, Wisconsin, it's the Squared Circle Podcast. And here are your hosts, Spencer Hart, and the two-time Squared Circle Podcast heavyweight champion, Max Beattie. I got cocky.
You got that look on your face.
Just a little bit.
A little bit. I don't know. I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah, I told you, as soon as I said you want some, come get some, that's the death. That's the death sentence.
That is the death now. You signed your own death warrant.
Welcome to the Squared Circle Podcast here on Spreaker.com, iTunes, and now we are on TuneIn Radio. We'd like to welcome in that audience listening over there.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. We've been doing this for a while. So
A little bit.
This is episode 12. So this is our 12th week doing this already.
Getting up there.
We had 500 listeners a couple nights ago. Yeah, so we
Nice.
really appreciate
I
that.
actually feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, so we'll go over Monday Night Raw here, NXT. It was the last one of the year, I think.
Oh, really?
I think so, because I've been looking for spoilers on the 30th, because I think we're going to do our last show of the year on Wednesday instead of Thursday. But I can't seem to find any, so I don't think there is one unless they're doing it live.
If they actually did an NXT show live, that'd be really cool. Some of their workers, I don't know how well they'd respond to it, because some of them, NXT's kind of like their only experience, like, Baron Corbin, Nia Jax, and I'm not trying to say that any of these, people are untalented. They've probably gotten a little bit used to the pre-tape schedule, so.
Yeah, before we continue, you're sounding much better today than you did
God.
last week.
I know. So sick for the last week.
Oh.
But there's nothing coming out of my stomach right now, and my voice doesn't sound like I just, had someone stab me with a pitchfork or something. So I think I'm doing okay.
Okay, well, that's a good start. So let's go over Monday Night Raw. You and I were live streaming on Turnbuckle Productions' YouTube channel again.
Yes, we were.
I think we're going to have fun with that.
Oh, yeah. I definitely want to do that again.
Yeah.
See, we live streamed that, and what was the other one we live streamed?
We live streamed during Tables, Ladders, and Chairs.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think we'll do it again for Rumble, especially.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So, Monday Night Raw starts off with... Oh, this isn't correct. Yes, it is. It starts off with Stephanie McMahon confronting Roman Reigns again.
Oh, yeah.
See, the reason I thought it wasn't correct because that's the exact same way it started last time.
It's Raw. They usually are really repetitive.
So I freaked out for just a minute. But yeah, this is correct. Stephanie McMahon confronts Roman Reigns and says that I think Triple H will be returning this week as well.
This coming Monday?
I think so.
Okay.
He may. They may wait until Rumble.
Really? I don't know if they'll do that just because, he did show up for TakeOver London and NXT, and he even acknowledged it. He goes like, yeah, I got my ass kicked, but I still made it here. It'd be like...
Apparently, Roman hasn't been watching NXT programming. Did you hear what he said?
What do you
He
mean?
said that Triple H is still in Stanford working off the injury, and we all saw NXT TakeOver.
Dude, Roman, you used to work at NXT. Yeah, you were called Leaki for a little while down there, but come on, man.
Yeah, so
Wow.
So Roman pretty much is like the good guy in this way that Stephanie is trying to kick him out of the ring, and he's like, "But they don't want me to go.
They don't want me to leave." And then he pulls the Looney Tunes. I want you to leave. You don't. I do. You don't. You do.
Yeah. So Roman leaves, and as he's going back up the crowd, like how he usually enters, but backwards. Mm-hmm. Stephanie decides that he's going to punish his family by putting the Usos in a 3-on-2 handicap match.
Yeah, I was a little confused with this. Like that, and even the cage match with Ambrose that they set up, it was kind of, okay, I understand. Not anyone can just say, oh, wrestling logic. Why don't they just take the belt off of him? It's usually the kind of story that, they want to crush him, humiliate him, take the belt from him instead of just stripping it. They put his cousins into a 3-on-2 non-title, consequence-free match. And then there was the cage match, which, Ambrose could have, I forget, was that for the belt? The cage match? Oh, it wasn't?
No, it was just a non-title.
So there's really, outside of just, hey, it's a cage match, you could get hurt, really not a lot of consequences. So the story here is, Roman, we hate you. You're not the guy we want. We don't want the belt on you. So we're going to passive-aggressively non-punish your friends. Did I miss a step in storytelling there?
No, that was pretty much it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The performances in this were good. I will admit it was cheesy, but I laughed my ass off when he basically, turned his back like, hey, you want to see her get really mad? Like, he was the living embodiment of the "you mad bro" meme for about 5 minutes there. And I laughed my ass off, but the rest of it kind of leaves me just scratching my head.
Yeah. So we move on to our first, of course, it was the Slammies. And
of course.
Did you enjoy the Slammies this year?
Honestly, was it a dumb show? Yes. Was it enjoyably dumb? Oh,
yes.
Probably the first time I've ever been able to say that about the Slammies. Usually it's, are they dumb? Yes. Was it enjoyable? No.
Well, you probably enjoyed it a little more because you took my title from me.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't draw enjoyment from other people's loss.
Uh-huh. So the first award handed out on Raw, of course, there were like
wonderful
six
pre-show.
others.
They gave away no awards that matter.
Yeah, like the tag team of the year. So we'll get to that because I'm pissed about that. Breakout star of the year goes to the man that gravity forgot, Neville.
I mean, was he a breakout star? In a sense, he's been on a lot of Raws. The crowd pops from whenever he comes out. He's cut a couple of decent promos.
But what has he done over the last year?
Yeah, I mean, he's had some good matches. He did that whole thing with Stephen Amell. I think breakout star this year. Well, I think breakout star, and I immediately think a new up-and-coming star. Someone who, this is their first year, their first tenure in mainstream WWE. So who would be a new star that did... Oh, wait, Kevin Owens! I just pulled that out of nowhere!
See, and that's one of the things that make me believe that this one may have been a little rigged.
Like maybe they kind of nudged the votes with a computer?
Yes, because you look at Neville over the last year. He's a good worker. He's a great performer.
Oh, yeah.
But just Kevin Owens, he's held on to the Intercontinental title until Dean took it, and he had it for, gotta be close to 6 months already. Maybe 4?
I think it was 6.
It was 6? Okay.
I want to say it was 6. I could be wrong. I think you might be right on the 4 thing, but I'm going to hedge on 6.
But yeah, and then the other thing that makes me think this may have been a little rigged is Neville's in the middle of a speech, and Kevin Owens walks out, and kind of like the old Kanye West with Taylor Swift thing, that I was better than you. And then he gets into a fight with Dolph Ziggler, leading to a match with them later in the night. So, I don't know. Neville's a good worker, but I don't know. So, then we have a match with the Dudley Boys, Kane, and Tommy Dreamer versus the Wyatt family.
Well, that was a thing that happened.
Well, the thing that was kind of screwed up was Bray Wyatt and Kane had a match before this, and I almost refused to mention it because I forgot how short it was. It was maybe a minute before the Wyatt family got involved, and then the Dudley Boys and Tommy Dreamer came screaming down from the entranceway.
Yeah.
And then this turned into another one of those 6-man tag team match that we've seen so many times this year.
I think it was just because, last year we had the 6-mans between, Evolution and the Shield, and the Wyatts and the Shield, and a lot of times, the New Day's been big in tag team matches, and even though that's usually 2-on-2, they usually, Xavier Woods or someone would get involved on their behalf. So we've been seeing a lot of the bigger number tag matches, and they've usually been good, and it's different from the traditional 2-on-2 or, the eliminations when we get at Survivor Series. But it's that old adage of too much of a good thing. You keep giving us exactly what we want. It's sort of like, for example, I love Cajun food. I love, say, a po' boy type of sandwich. Would I be willing to eat a po' boy every day for a week? Sure. After about 3 weeks of that, A, I'm probably going to have a heart attack, and B, I'm just going to be sick of it. It's like I never want to touch this thing I used to love ever again. You just kind of get bored with it.
Yeah, you get that feeling of bleh.
It's like I love it, but I've seen it.
Yeah. So we move on. A couple of other awards that we got to. The LOL moment of the year goes to R-Truth, thinking he was in the Money in the Bank match. And to be completely honest, that was pretty funny.
I personally wouldn't have given it the award, but it was moderately funny. Yeah.
I forget the other.
I don't even remember which one it was.
Yeah, it's been 6 days already.
It wasn't exactly an award I think a lot of people, the two of us included, really cared a lot about.
Yeah. So the person who presented that award, though, was more exciting than the award itself, Santino Marella.
Yeah. I couldn't believe that. It's sort of like, oh, the presenter's not. Wonder who it's going to be. Holy shit, is that Santino? Didn't he retire?
Yeah, you were in the middle of saying something during our live stream where I pointed out to you and you just froze. You were like, oh, it's Santino Marella.
It was one of the, it's the kind of surprise return that in the back of your head you're saying, I shouldn't be this shocked or excited about it because it's just Santino Marella. And is he a funny guy and a talented worker? Yeah. Did they ever use him properly? Not a fucking chance. But at the same time, it's like, you're so shocked that just out of nowhere, a random Santino Marella appears. It's just kind of, really? You know what? Okay, where's this going?
Yeah. So after that, the next award, the OMG Shocking Moment of the Year, rightfully goes to Kalisto with the Selena Del Sol off the ladder during TLC.
That spot.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not much you can say about that spot. It's just, I'm surprised no one died.
I forget, who did he hit that on again?
I think it was Jey Uso.
Yeah, I think there was at some point, like, because a lot of times spots are planned out, but sometimes they'll give it a little bit of wiggle room. Like, I probably would have, I guess, maybe potentially been less injurious had they just, Selena Del Sol off the ladder onto the mat. This was definitely an instance where I kind of feel like, we'll say it was Jey. Jey and Kalisto just sort of quietly looked at each other and real briefly said, kill ourselves, and proceeded to almost do so.
Pretty much, and that's how it went down.
Like, all right, this is going to... Oh, God, that sucks so much more than I thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so after that, next match, Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler.
Damn, this was great.
Yes, it was. This was probably the match of the night.
Oh, yeah.
Because, honestly, the main event was boring. It was. The crowd thought it was boring.
Yeah, they didn't really care.
Well, they were chanting, this is boring, and boring.
Boring.
Yeah. So, just, I
gotta wonder this. The Roman Reigns, he got his big pop when he finally won the title from Sheamus, and it was in Philly. The crowd is definitely more solidly behind him, and the show has been kind of, for the last 2-3 weeks, really built around him, which to an extent makes sense. It has been a big story for him, and he's the world champion. Do you kind of think maybe that a part of the obviously, the match itself wasn't exactly anything special, but do you kind of think maybe part of the reason they were so bored was they had a show built around Roman Reigns being the main character and then made that main character a cheerleader in what essentially amounts to a subplot?
Yeah, I could see why.
I mean, I'd be saying the same thing if it were, any other world champion like Edge, Cena, who was ever holding the belt, and then you spend all this time, and then boop, out of nowhere, yeah, I'm not even wrestling on the show tonight. I'm just here to make sure no one screws over my buddy. It's like, that's great and all, but wasn't this story about you?
Yeah, I would say it was maybe more for his family.
Yeah.
Stephanie said that she would punish the family because Roman's a dick, I guess. So I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow, though, when the big man comes back. Vincent Kennedy McMahon's scheduled to appear tomorrow.
Oh, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. So just this match, Dolph Ziggler catches Kevin Owens with a famouser, and I thought that was it.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin then gets up, pop-up powerbomb. You know the rest.
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Hashtag Kevin Owens for Royal Rumble victory.
Yes. And so now the next award that we get to, Superstar of the Year. And I'm so glad you and I both got this one correct.
Well, I mean, there's really only one person I could think of, at least on the main roster. And since they did specify it as Superstar of the Year, I could only assume there's going to be guys only. And that'd be Seth Rollins. Hell, honestly, even if you included some of the female, even if you included the 4 horsewomen in it, I think I might still swing it in favor of Rollins. Just because, did they do exemplary, some of the best work we've ever seen out of the women in WWE? Oh, hell yeah. They weren't exactly in charge of carrying half a year's worth of 3-hour Raws and pay-per-views and trying to spin mainstream WWE crap into gold as best they can, which did it ever really work with Rollins? No, but it's like the old saying goes, you can give the best actor in the world the worst material and it won't change the material.
Yeah. So Stephanie McMahon was the announcer and the award presenter, and she says Seth Rollins. The music hits, and the music hits, and you're thinking, is he actually here?
He ain't gonna.
And
with his knee, come on.
Yeah. So the music drops, and then it comes right back. That's usually when he would come out.
Yep.
And he starts hobbling out on his crutches, and it was painful to see, but good God, I was so happy to see him. Yeah.
Thank you, Seth. Thank you, Seth.
Yeah. So, oh man, Seth Rollins returns to accept the award for Superstar of the Year, and God, rightfully so, he deserved it.
Damn straight. Damn straight.
Yes, he vows to, what did he call it? Redesign, rebuild, and reclaim the title like that nobody ever beat him for.
Damn Skippy. Although I'm pretty sure it might be impossible for him to return as a heel. I think this might be a Stone Cold after the end of WrestleMania 17. You ain't going to be able to pay crowds to boo this dude.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be hard to boo him again. It really is.
I'm just not.
Even somebody from like my standards, because I've told you the story that when Seth Rollins cashed in his Money in the Bank contract at WrestleMania, I hated him. I really did. And then, well, I hated him before that when he first joined with the Authority with the Shield and everything. It was just like, oh, you dick. But over the last year, he really earned my respect.
Oh yeah.
So after that, we have a match again with the United States champion Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger. Can we just skip over this match?
I'm okay with that.
Thank God.
Moving on.
Yeah. So after that, we're presented with the next award, the Hero in All of Us Award, the humanitarian award from Coca-Cola.
Why did they just call this the John Cena Award?
Yeah, because we all know John Cena was going to win because he had his 500th Make-A-Wish this year?
Yeah.
Right there. Done. Argument over.
It's kind of like, okay, well, but there are other wrestlers who do Make-A-Wish stuff. There are other wrestlers who do charitable contributions. John Cena, literally, as a hobby, goes and visits sick and dying kids with the sole purpose of making them cheering them up. It's like, dude, he should just get an image of the award tattooed on him somewhere.
Yeah, unfortunately, John Cena was not there to accept. I just had that glimmer of maybe he'll surprise us and the music will drop and he'll come out and accept the award because I would have been excited for that. But nope, Mark Henry accepts the award on his behalf.
I did like Mark's little speech, though.
Yes.
About, not all of us expect recognition, but, we love what we do. We respect each other, respect the fans, and it didn't feel like the heel, I'm claiming this on behalf of John. It's more like, I'm accepting this on behalf of him. It felt very genuine.
Yeah. So the next award, Surprise Return of the Year, goes to the icon of WCW, Mr. Sting. I mean, I guess.
It was kind of shocking.
Yeah. I really think that the Dudley Boys should have personally won the award.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was a return that,
nobody saw that.
Even Alberto Del Rio, I mean, that was one that it wouldn't have been in my top 100.
Oh, God, no.
For him to come back ever to the company.
Before. We were both kind of like, yeah, that you could make a list of every wrestler on the planet, and I still wouldn't have included Del Rio.
Yeah, that was right after Hell in a Cell when he came back to face John Cena. Yeah, because we were talking about that as who's going to come back and take the title away from Cena, and I don't think we would have ever said Alberto Del Rio in any parallel universe ever.
Oh, God.
So, the next match, tag team match. The Usos, winner of Tag Team of the Year, versus the New Day, the tag team that got screwed out of Tag Team of the Year.
Yes, the three-man team who basically, the revitalization of the tag team division was waning. They not only picked that ball up, they ran with it and then built a whole new goddamn stadium to play with the ball in. They're one of the most entertaining acts of, the last 5 years. And they are the current tag team champions, and they don't get Tag Team of the Year.
Yeah, you and I were We were live streaming. We really thought the Tag Team of the Year was going to be awarded on Raw. No, it was awarded in the pre-show. And it wasn't even really awarded. It's just all of a sudden something flashed across the screen. Oh, Tag Team of the Year, the Usos. I stopped and I'm like, what?
See, and then WWE wonders why we don't give a crap about most of the stuff they put out, at the possible exception of the main event. Because you don't care.
Yeah. So the Usos win over the New Day in a botched pin. It's like,
God,
Jay went to roll up Xavier Woods and he kind of stumbled and fell and then kind of like sat on Xavier Woods for the win. And I was like, okay. And I looked at you and I said, oh, buddy, this isn't good. That's not good. If they're starting to lose this way.
Hell, there's that. My mind just kind of went, did the Tag Team of the Year just fuck up on national television? Is this real life? Like, it was just one of those moments where I went, I understand botches can happen to anybody, but this is the team you guys are saying are the best. But the other team has the championships, and they just won via botch. I'm thinking this is bullshit right here.
Yeah. So the Usos win over the WWE Tag Team Champions, the New Day, and rightfully, in our opinion, Tag Team of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
This next part, I feel bad for Steve Harvey.
I do, too. I didn't even watch that damn award show because I had no interest in it, but it's just kind of, it's live TV, and everyone just went insane.
Yeah. So, Paige wins Diva of the Year. Wait a minute. So, the card was wrong. R-Truth whispers into Paige's ear, you didn't win. Nikki Bella won. And then you hear Nikki Bella's music drop.
For a second there, I was like, oh, Paige won. I wouldn't agree with it, but you know what? I could see it. Oh, Nikki Bella won. I have never wanted to murder a TV show before, and I'm not entirely convinced it's possible, but Nikki Bella winning Diva of the Year, that just about did it. Can I kill Raw with her statue, please?
And that was the moment where I thought I won. You remember that? Nikki Bella wins.
Oh, yeah.
And I get so excited, and I'm like, I'm still champion. And then I re-looked at all of our picks, and we still had 2 picks left, and you were down by 1 point. I'm like, shit. I just jinxed myself. Yeah.
Jinxed yourself with a Bella.
Yep. So after that, Rusev versus Neville.
That existed. I don't really have anything negative or positive to say on it.
Yeah. The League of Nations got involved, of course.
Yippee.
Yeah. The Miz was down there shouting at Neville again. I don't know if I'm going to like that storyline or not.
I get where they're going with it, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like the right fit.
Yeah. So after that, the next award, the This Is Awesome Moment of the Year.
I don't even remember who won this. I'm serious. I don't.
If you smell what The Rock and Ronda's cooking.
Oh, right. That's right. That's right. Over 9,000. Yeah.
Yes, the memories flood back.
Yeah, and I'll freely admit, I didn't even pick this because, I think
yes,
it's actually, no. I was going to say, I didn't even pick this because of I thought it was a legitimately cool thing. Like, this is cool. I just picked this solely because wrestler I like, athlete I like, and athlete I like is wearing a shirt of a show I like. Boom!
Done.
It was completely selfish.
Done.
Completely selfish, but I don't care. I won.
So, unfortunately, The Rock nor Ronda was there to accept the award.
Pretty sure, I hate to say this, but I think at this point I would have marked out harder for Ronda showing up.
Yeah, that would have been kind of cool.
And all of a sudden, they actually make a little theme for her or something. She comes out. That crowd would have gone ape shit.
Yeah. So after that, Becky Lynch versus Brie Bella. Yep.
If I talk about the match, I'll start screaming. This one's all yours.
Yay! Becky wins. Yay.
I like that part.
Yeah.
I like
interference by Ric Flair.
Now, I will say this. I kind of dig the storyline they're doing here, where Becky's kind of like the unwitting hand to their heel shenanigans.
Oh, wait, no, there was no interference by
No,
Ric Flair.
that was the week before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She won
okay, I think
clean.
we're getting our wires crossed.
She won clean by reversing Bree's, I don't even know how to pronounce that, the La Magic, yeah, her finisher. And she reversed it into a disarmer.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
She won clean.
Yeah, okay. Like I said, I'm enjoying that storyline still. And I don't know. I mean, this was a decent match. Yeah, I was definitely thinking about last week. Wow. But yeah, this was a decent match. I mean, I don't know what else to really say about it. I like the fact that Becky got the win, but then again, it was against a Bella. Unless if Becky Lynch loses to a Bella, I might light something on fire. But I mean, it was wrestling that occurred. That's about it.
Yeah. So the last award of the evening, match of the year, goes to Bayley versus Sasha Banks. Oh, wait, I'm wrong!
Well, of course it goes to that. I mean, that was the best WWE match of the... Oh, wait, that's right. NXT got the snub, even though they claimed to, respect it and hold it on equal footing.
I hope that next year's Slammies include NXT. I think that NXT,
I think the downside would be to that is that unless WWE mainstream really steps it up, all the awards would be won by NXT.
Maybe that's what it takes for WWE Creative to kick their asses into gear, is to see that NXT is kicking the shit out of their ratings.
I think they take it now.
Yeah, the fans are enjoying it much more than...
Or at all.
Yeah. So, match of the year, rightfully... out of the contenders that were there, and unfortunately Sting versus Triple H, which for some reason was included in the nominees this year, but
nostalgia, that's why.
The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar at Hell in a Cell. I mean, that was
hands down.
If you could pick a match that was just WWE this year, that one.
Oh God, yeah.
that's there's no argument about that one.
There were several great matches this year where, all the performers involved basically decided, you know what, let's just half kill each other. And this was definitely one of them, except it was Brock and The Undertaker, which pretty much translate, this is going to be bloody, brutal, and amazing. And it was.
Yeah, it was. And it was pretty enjoyable.
Yeah. Unlike the cage match.
Yeah, which is the last match of the evening.
And again, I mean... No IC title on the line. Roman Reigns basically being downgraded to a cheerleader. The match itself being so awkwardly booked that the crowd starts a boring chant. I mean, did I enjoy the show? Overall, yes. That doesn't mean that if you break it down part by part, it wasn't really dumb.
Yeah,
this is a crowning example.
Did you enjoy Raw or did you enjoy the Slammies? That's the big question here. I
think I enjoyed the Slammies, but not Raw.
Yeah, because it's the award aspect, and I think that's why the ratings were pretty much the same this week, but the content was shit.
Yeah, I think what the problem is, the Slammies are an awards show. Nothing wrong with that. If they want to do, an award show, that's cool. But the problem is, whether it's 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, I don't care how many hours in the show you have, be an awards show or be a wrestling show, because it's not going to work when you try to smash them together, because then it's either going to be, well, in the middle of your wrestling show, everything has to stop to give out a couple of awards, or in your awards show, everything has to stop for an awkwardly booked wrestling match. And it was kind of more, well, the second one this year. Did they actually try? Yeah, but maybe next year, shorten it down to like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and just do it as its own separate thing. Like maybe throw it up on a Thursday or something.
Yeah. So, Intercontinental Champion Dean Ambrose versus Sheamus, with the League of Nations standing outside the cage. Roman didn't come down until after, or right before the match ended. It was a pretty interesting finish, I guess.
I forget, was this the one with the magical chair?
Yes!
That's right, the magical chair. It's like a Harry Potter novel. Roman Reigns and the magical unfolding chair.
For those of you who don't know what the hell we're talking about, Roman Reigns grabs a chair.
Did he close it too, like fold it up?
He closed it and then started climbing the cage, and then whipped it over the cage towards Dean. And the way it landed, it bounced and then kind of opened up and then landed on all four legs.
Just perfectly, almost as if someone had sat there and it was just sort of, Roman Reigns. Are you a witch?
Roman Reigns is a magician.
You're a wizard, Roman. I couldn't resist.
Yeah, so photo finish to the end. Here's the thing. Dean Ambrose and Sheamus are both hanging on to the outside of the cage, punching each other, and you and I are screaming at the TV, just jump! Just jump to the floor. I don't understand. This happens quite frequently in steel cage matches. Is they're hanging on the outside of the cage, halfway up or so, maybe a little bit higher. Mm-hmm. But for the love of God, the first one whose both feet hit the ground wins. Period. End of story. See you next week. They're just hanging and punching on each other, and I'm thinking,
just let go.
Just let go.
Well, not only that, but the problem it creates is okay, you got the two guys okay, maybe they just want to punch the shit out of each other, even though they should both realize if they knock the other person unconscious, it would cause them to fall, and thus they would win. But whenever you have someone win like that, or someone just basically the heels are stomping on their hands and then they fall off, the person who won the match didn't win because they pinned someone or forced them to submit or got a technical knockout or scaled the cage and before their opponent could respond and land. They didn't show any endurance. Literally, Dean Ambrose and anyone else who wins like this won by getting their ass kicked. They essentially won by being on the wrong side of a beating. It's some people do complain about whenever someone's in the corner, got someone backed into the turnbuckle, and they just won't respond to the 5 count, they disqualified. Oh, they won because they wrestled too hard. That's the idea of, it's supposed to be a fight, it's supposed to be a match, you want to beat your opponent, not hurt them, although in a wrestling context, that really goes out the window. But this one is just, so Dean Ambrose won because someone punched him off of something. Yeah, that makes for a really great-sounding victory. That makes for a really strong-looking champion.
Yeah, so that's why this whole steel cage match was kind of screwed up. So 1 to 10, we do it every week, 1 to 10, Monday Night Raw. 2015 Slammy Awards. You took the title from me, you dick.
For the Slammies, you said before, did you enjoy Slammies or Raw? For the Slammies, I'd probably give it a 7.5. For Raw, a 5.
Yeah, Raw was back to its normal
crap.
Yeah. So before we get to NXT, I completely forgot we have to get to something else.
We do.
We got to get to SmackDown.
What? I literally didn't. I didn't watch.
You didn't watch SmackDown? Oh. It was live this week.
No, I didn't.
All right, so we'll quickly glance over because a couple things happened.
Okay.
One, the tag team champions, the New Day, defended their titles against the Lucha Dragons.
Okay.
And this match was pretty good because, even though neither of them won Tag Team of the Year, this was a very hard-fought match. The New Day, of course, wins. And you and I, we contemplated whether the New Day was actually going to retain on SmackDown during our live stream. Because I said to you when the Usos defeated the New Day, I looked at you and said, ooh, I don't know, this doesn't look good for the New Day. Because the way that they lost was just on Monday Night Raw. Mm-hmm. The way that the New Day lost, I don't think it would have boded well. So
now, ordinarily, I'd be the first one to pipe up and go, yeah, but it's SmackDown. There's no worry. Nothing important happens on SmackDown. But then the other part of my brain goes, yeah, but leave it to WWE to render a show so completely impotent and unimportant as what SmackDown is right now, and then without fixing it, have a major title change happen on it. It's just, I'm glad they retained. I'm glad that shit didn't happen, but it's just yeah, you got a point, because seen it happening.
Yeah. So the only other match I really want to get to today from SmackDown was the triple threat match for the Intercontinental title. You have to go and watch this match.
Okay. Dean
Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens.
Does this count as Owens' rematch?
I don't think so.
Because I could see WWE getting that technical, being like, this was for the belt, but it wasn't Owens' rematch clause. I could see them doing that because, this is a triple threat. And you could argue that doesn't make sense, but at the same time, it gives us another Yeah, I can't even talk. Gives us another Kevin Owens match. I wouldn't complain.
Yeah. So I don't think it'll be his rematch, but...
Like, hold on to that till the Rumble?
Yeah. I think he'll hold on to that till the Rumble.
Okay.
So the other... Just this match, good freaking God. This match starts as soon as everybody comes out, and it starts on the platform in front of the Titantron, where all the Christmas trees and all the presents are, and it was just everything was annihilated in this match. And of course, Dean Ambrose wins because they wouldn't take the title off him.
God no.
So yeah, I'll give my own personal rating for they called it Super SmackDown because it was super. It's surprisingly much better than Monday Night Raw. It really was.
Oh
yeah, it was actually a pretty decent show. You know, of course there were some Christmas tie-ins that were absolutely shit. They used Santino Marella again.
Santino or Santino?
Santino, sorry.
I was about to say, God, no. They didn't bring back Santino Marella. Oh, God. I'm getting WrestleMania, I think it was 25 flashbacks. No!
Yeah. So, and we also find out, it may have been on Monday Night Raw too, but we find out that, God, I've been waiting a long time to do this. Mr. John Cena is coming back on Monday. He's coming back tomorrow. Well, technically he came back yesterday at Madison Square Garden, but... Well, we won't pretend that happened.
What happened?
What?
What happened?
I don't
know.
Nothing
happened.
Okay.
You say you saw John Cena at Madison Square Garden?
Nice. So the last thing we want to get to today, WWE NXT, filmed in London.
I was so excited for this episode.
Yes, and there's really only one reason why. Yeah?
Do it. Play a song.
Do it.
Play a song.
Should I do it?
Yes.
Yay!
Let's go.
Mr. Sami Zayn.
I knew it was coming. Everyone knew it was coming.
Let's go!
I was standing in my kitchen, making myself some to eat. And, it shows the things like Sami Zayn returns tonight. I'm like, yes. I'm sitting there. Every once in a while, looking up at my screen, I'm like, okay, there are people in my house right now that are asleep. I'm not going to freak out. It's not a big deal. It's just Sami Zayn returning. First, 2 notes of his theme song. Oh my God, it's Sami Zayn! And I'm just losing my mind. I literally was jumping up and down in my kitchen. It was like a 10-year-old again. Sami. He came out in the Insaniac shirt and the flat cap, and he was Sami Zayn, and they told the story of him, ring rust and his shoulder, and I don't care. Sami Zayn is back on NXT. The entire world could be full of nothing but flames and dead bodies, but Sami Zayn is on NXT. I'll go down happy.
Done.
Done.
All that needs to be said.
I need a cigarette.
So, yeah. Well, first, the NXT starts with the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the number one... I think it was it for the number one contender? No. It was just a regular tag team Fatal 4-Way, which could lead to a number one contender.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you think about who won, which was Jordan and Gable... yeah, they are so stupidly over, and I don't mean that in a bad way. They're just...
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Just insane. Just come on.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would personally want to see Jordan and Gable versus, say, the Vaudevillains for number one contendership, and then they just, suplex, was it Dash and Wilder?
Yeah.
Yeah, just suplex them to death.
Yeah.
That would be just a great little string. Like this match versus the Vaudevillains for the number one contendership title match. Best little string of 3 matches I'll have seen in a while.
Well, Jordan and Gable, if I remember correctly, they have not lost in about a month. They're perfect in the month of December. If I can,
all the more reason.
Give him the number one contendership.
I mean, I'm not saying WWE should do it. I'm demanding it.
The other thing I liked about this match was the Vaudevillains during their entrance. Do you remember it? Aiden English was dressed as Sherlock Holmes.
Oh my God!
And
yes.
Simon Gotch was dressed as the 4th incarnation of Doctor Who, Tom Baker. And you and we're both nerds. We're both geeks.
Love Sherlock Holmes. I've been watching Doctor Who. God, I've been watching Doctor Who since like 2001. The only thing that could have made the Doctor Who costume better is if it would have been the Fifth Doctor, because the Fifth Doctor's my number one doc. And as for the Sherlock Holmes, well, that shit was just on point, and I was practically giggling like a baby over that alone. And then I noticed Tom Baker's scarf, and I'm like, I've died. There is wrestling in heaven, apparently. Holy crap.
Yeah. So this match ends when Jordan and Gable hit the grand amplitude to, I believe it was Blake. Yes, it was. Hit the grand amplitude on Blake for the win. Oh, I think they're on their way to the titles, buddy. I really
Seriously.
do. I think that Scott and Dawson, I can't remember their names. Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder.
Yeah, that's it.
I think they're just transitional champions.
Which is kind of sad. I mean, they got good promos. They're great, kind of old school heels, but it's going to sound weird. I think if Raw were more up to par in terms of quality, I think they would actually be a better fit on Raw versus NXT. NXT's kind of got a much more modern sensibility to it, even though it does use kind of like classic booking techniques. And they're such old school kind of heels. I just feel like it would fit better on Raw. I don't know.
Yeah. So, the next match, okay, so you're going to have to explain this to me because maybe I don't know who this person is.
Okay.
Elias Sampson versus Bull Dempsey. Who the hell is Elias Sampson? Do we know?
I am
Let's
unfamiliar with
take a look at his
myself.
profile here real quick. There's absolutely nothing on him.
What site are you on?
Just on WWE's.
Yeah, I don't know much about Elias Sampson. I mean, maybe one of our listeners could tell us more. I swear to God, though, that name just sounds really familiar to me for some reason. Like it's in the back of my head or on the tip of my tongue, and I can't place it. I mean, I'll admit, I don't watch that much indie wrestling. I mean, I watch a bit. Most of the indie stuff I watch is usually stuff like New Japan Pro or Lucha Underground, and it's just kind of like, well, it's not really, it's too huge to be indie, so.
He is an Italian-American professional wrestler, currently working under the name Elias Sampson. His real name is Logan Shulo. And to be completely honest, he made his NXT debut last year on April 24th, teaming up with Murphy against the Ascension.
The fuck?
Yeah. What? That makes no
I don't even
sense.
remember this.
Yeah. I don't either.
Was he still being called Elias Sampson at the time?
I don't know. He was in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic.
Bullshit. Where?
He teamed up with Tucker Knight.
That must have been a match that didn't get to air or something. I don't even remember.
I think all of them aired though, because they
That's just not clicking any. That's not ringing any bells.
Because they went up against the Mechanics during the Tag Team Classic. That may have been actually during an NXT live event, which is now making me think that he's not really from anywhere. He's just a new wrestler.
Okay, that could be, that's possible, because they do have like some of the NXT, like I've called them the stalwarts or the NXT originals, guys like Baron Corbin and whatnot. Baron Corbin, as far as I know, doesn't have a pre-existing wrestling career prior to NXT. I mean, he was in football. They've acknowledged that, but
it's the same thing with Enzo Amore, isn't it?
I think Enzo and Cass are both NXT stalwarts as well. I want to say there's at least one or two, because I know Sasha Banks. Like, I'm pretty sure. I don't know about Charlotte, but I know Becky Lynch used to be Rebecca Knox, and she started in Ireland and went around Europe. Eventually got to like Shimmer here in the U.S. Then you've got like Sasha Banks. She was in, I can't even remember which small indie promotions. And then Paige, I know she's got pre-existing experience. But like I think Bayley, for example. No, Bayley's got indie cred too. And obviously they've been hiring some of the bigger indie stars. But like there's still a pretty healthy number of those guys and women that, they got their start on NXT. So
yeah, Charlotte actually is in NXT Stalwart. She's only from NXT. I looked it up.
No, that's actually kind of cool. I'm all right with that.
Bayley, she was in the American Independent Circuit. She wrestled under the name Davina Rose. Mm-hmm. She wrestled for Big Time Wrestling 2008 to 2012. Yep. Then went to NWA in 2012. And after that, she came to NXT.
I'm more familiar with her stuff with NWA than anything else.
Yeah. So, the last match...
Oh God.
Sami Zayn.
This was my Christmas. This was the first Christmas present I got to open this year.
Yes, Merry Christmas. Sami Zayn versus Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger. And this match was just fantastic.
Hey, Ty, you might be a perfect 10, but Sami Zayn's a perfect 10,000.
Yes,
dick.
sir.
You lose.
Ty Dillinger throws Zayn into the ring post right on his shoulder.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, ow.
Well, and I got to admit, like with a lot of other wrestlers, I wouldn't have had this reaction. Like with Daniel Bryan, when he first came back, every single time he did anything or got knocked down, I kept just sort of cringing and like putting my hand to my neck just because I know his neck at this point is made of, tiny babies and dreams. So it's just going to break like that. But like with Sami, in the back of my mind, I knew, okay, there, especially after Daniel Bryan and all the other injuries, there's not a chance in hell that they would put him in a match, let alone a match that they're going to have air on the network or TV or something, without him being at 100%. Even knowing that in the back of my mind, anytime Ty Dillinger even looked at Sami Zayn's shoulder, I kind of just, my hands were going to my mouth. Like, and when he threw him into the ring post, for the first time since I was like 12, I started shouting at the heel to stop doing things to my babyface hero.
Stop it, you're hurting him.
No! No! He's a human being! Leave Sami alone!
The worst thing a commentator can say. Stop it, you're hurting him.
Yup, you're hurting him, because that's going to get the wrestling match to stop. No, yeah. And you know what, honestly, even if I wasn't just going fan crazy and just, clapping my hands like a stupid little baby seal or something over Sami Zayn returning, this is a really good fucking match. Ty Dillinger is great. Sami Zayn is gone way past great. So, I mean, at worst, this was going to be passable.
Yeah, and I think because it's inevitable that Sami's coming to the main roster. It's inevitable.
But then they'll ruin him.
I don't think so. I think Sami Zayn will be okay.
Sami Zayn will be. The stories around him won't.
Yeah. Well, here's hoping Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 32.
I can just, if they actually do that, like the following, say Owens gets the Intercontinental title back. The following contest has been scheduled for one fall, and it's for the Intercontinental Championship, and it's Owens versus Zayn. I think before the match even starts, I might just pass out. Just like, oh God, thud. I think the only thing that could possibly make that scenario better is not only Sami winning, but Owens tries to go for, re-injure him, pop a powerbomb him on the apron, and he just reverses it or something. Just, Haluva kicks him to death or something. I mean, just, phew.
Yep.
I'd be dead. The rest of WrestleMania could be garbage, and I would love it for that.
Yeah. So, 1 out of 10, NXT.
Sami Zayn out of 10. Honestly, there wasn't really... I never like to give out that perfect 10. Honestly, 9.25.
Okay. I'll say 9 based on I don't think the Elias Sampson versus Bull Dempsey match was that good.
Oh, I can believe I'm going to revise that from 9.25 down to 9. Though.
Okay. Yeah. It was kind of it was not all there. I think some things need to be worked on. So
yeah, with both of them.
So, before we go, Daniel Bryan this past week has been saying that his career with WWE officially may be over. And don't cry, it's going to be okay.
I have my memories. No, I'm legitimately kind of sad about that. Like,
well, the thing that makes me think that might be true is TNA and Ring of Honor are looking to pick him up as soon as WWE releases him.
Okay, see, that I actually have a problem with. WWE has made a lot of mistakes. They've made a lot of mistakes with how they treat their wrestlers and how they care for them medically. I mean, yeah, a couple wrestlers have pointed out there are some wrinkles in Punk's story about what happened with him, but then a lot more have also said, yeah, but they still did this, and this to him, and they did that, and that to us. So... But the WWE's gotten a lot better. They've been a lot more cautious this year because of that, because of all the injuries that have occurred. If WWE's doctors are saying, hey, we've got a reason to hesitate, yeah, he's not going to break his neck, if he, runs track or something, but if he gets in the ring, my problem there is yeah, people can say all they want that ROH is better than mainstream WWE. The problem is they've got a very video game aspect to their booking where you're going to be throwing crazy like suplex combinations and going through tables and kicking out of half a dozen finishers just so the match can end on a fucking super kick. And this is turning into me critiquing ROH, so I'm going to get back on topic. If he's not solid enough to handle mainstream WWE booking, I don't even want to think about what would happen to him in ROH. I'm not saying that they wouldn't be careful with him, but they can't change their entire product to suit one guy, especially if he's not already at 100%. ROH might want him, but in TNA, well, TNA would probably book him similarly to WWE, so there'd probably be less of a medical issue there. Yeah, really?
Yeah.
There, I don't really see too much of a downside. I mean, I guess the biggest upside is Daniel Bryan has a shitload of in-universe like wrestling star power. So even though most people at this point are fed up, I'm not giving TNA any more chances. I'm pretty much there at that point. I swear to God, if all of a sudden they announced Bryan Danielson was showing up at TNA, well, I guess I'm watching TNA this week. I mean, it'll draw a crowd.
Yeah, it will. So, you know, the third opinion from WWE doctors has not come in yet, but it's been over, God, it's got to be close to 2 months since we've been waiting, and it's just like, just tell us if you're going to restrict him to not work in the ring again for you. Just tell us so we can
mourn and move on.
So we can mourn and we can just get on with our lives.
Yeah, it's like that. It's that old saying: the waiting is the worst part. If he can come back, great. If he can come back, but maybe you have to limit his appearances a little bit, fine. I can deal with that. A little less, I mean, and, you know, absence makes the heart go fonder and all that. If he can't, well, you know what? I was being a little serious when I say, yeah, I've got the memories. I mean, Daniel Bryan, if I were just making a collection of who are the best, you know, wrestlers of the last 15, 20 years, Daniel Bryan would probably make it into my top 5. I love the guy. But if it's over, I would rather be able to hold on to the memories, cherish them, mourn the loss of his career, and move on.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see over the next few weeks what the hell's going on with Daniel Bryan. So, any plans for New Year's, buddy?
Unfortunately, I have to work.
Yeah, so do I. So,
yay!
Yay! Creating jobs and making money and stuff. So.
All that important adult stuff.
That's going to do it for the Sports Circle podcast here on Spreaker.com, iTunes, and TuneIn Radio. We will see you guys next year. We will now be on Turnbuckle Productions. We start that in a week. So, until then, I'm Spencer Hart. That's Max Beattie. Have a wonderful rest of your year, and Happy New Year's.